Welcome back to another episode of Open Window. It has been, let me check, probably like 1 month as always, but we told you we will wait until Dandadan is like halfway done. Technically, it's already more than halfway, but good thing we waited actually. Yeah, like it's just Pan and Jazz as always here. You know the deal. Like if you know this channel, you know who we are. Good thing we waited until episode 7 was done, right? Because episode 7 was probably not just probably, it was definitely the best episode so far
Oh
this
yeah,
season.
absolutely.
Yeah, but we wanted to, as we said in the last video, talk about Dandadan specifically, as we always do, like we did with Dungeon Meshi last time. First impressions, like a short summary, I suppose, and the things we liked, maybe disliked. I don't know. Maybe Jazz has some stuff he wants to talk about. If not, then not. I don't know. We start off with non-spoilers, and then I will give a spoiler warning after a
Yeah.
while, and then we can, you can click off if you somehow found this video and you don't want to be spoiled.
Yeah, there's a lot that goes on in this show, but I think it's pretty simple. So this from the first episode, pretty simple basis of like we have a male character and of course a female main character. The male character's name is Ken. Female character's name is Momo, and basically I think they meet up because Ken is like I guess like a geek, a nerd. He gets bullied a lot in school. Momo is a lot more of like popular, has a lot of friends. I think she just broke up with her boyfriend on the first episode actually. They meet and I think he's really into aliens and she's really into Ghost because just from their backgrounds and what they've grown to be accustomed to. And the basically those worlds collide and they collide as well in that first episode. That's when the story kind of starts taking fruition. And like I said, not to spoil it too much, but there are some powers that be obtained from both of them, which is cool as well. They see a lot of different aliens, a lot of different yokai / ghosts. And yeah, that's where we are right now with episode 7. Just their kind of story, just delving into both of those worlds. And yeah, it's been really, really cool, really, really great. And I think these two being the main characters has been very refreshing. I know a lot of people have been saying like, of course, it's a man and a girl, so they usually kind of tie some romance into it. But even before that, as like friends, as like just teenage high schoolers, whatever, it's really cool. They act like their age. They feel very genuine. I like the comedy between them, their interactions between them when they be picking on each other. But that's one thing about Dandadan, we can go into later, but like they can go from comedy into like a very serious moment just like that on the flip of a finger, and they do it so well with the music change, the slowing down of the dialogue, but they can pick it right back up into the comedy again. And those two really do it very, very well. And I like the romance too as well. It hasn't been anything too crazy, but they've been kind of just here and there, like, oh, like I find her kind of cute here, or like that's kind of a little bit of a spoiler there. I won't talk about that one episode, but yeah, like the interaction between them is very, very good. How do you feel about the main characters so far?
Yeah, as you said, the romance aspects are some of the like best part of the show, in my opinion. We didn't have a lot of like crazy fights yet. Like we definitely had some fights, which the show does very well. And I heard from fans that it does have some good stuff, some war arc even damn near happening soon. But I feel like the character interactions are what are, I mean, at this point at least, like the strongest aspect of the show. It's as you said, like for the romance, it's the small things, but they come together, and it's really well done, right? As you said, fairly realistic. The new characters that are introduced so far are all fun to watch, are all unique in their aspect.
Yeah.
And judging from the opening, we are still missing like one dude that is also going to be in the side cast. We haven't seen him yet. We are only on episode 7 so far when this video comes out, or 8 if I'm slow as fuck. Yeah, this show, very fun characters. Animation is great. I think the show, and I think many have said it, Jess had also said it, the show that comes, or the series that you can compare it to, kind of, not necessarily like 100%, but is Chainsaw Man. And I guess it makes sense. I told this to Jess before the recording as well. The author of Dandadan, to my knowledge, worked with Fujimoto in the past, and then left Fujimoto to make his own thing, to do his own thing. And then now we have Dandadan here. So I guess you can kind of see, maybe even in the manga, you can see some artistic similarities. The vibe is pretty similar, character interactions, the way the way the story unfolds and how wild it is at times. It doesn't shy away from like specific scenes, like explicit stuff, similar to Chainsaw Man. So
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you could say, right, that if you like Chainsaw Man, you will like Dandadan and vice versa. Maybe not like fully, but if you can handle even though it's not that extreme, but for some people it is. If you can handle Chainsaw Man, I guess, you will be able to also handle Dana Dana like it, in my opinion. Okay, but everyone is different. But
Yeah.
as a whole, it's well produced. The studio, I didn't know about the studio before. To be fair, they didn't have a lot of anime before. They have like Devilman Crybaby or Azoken. People who know these, or they make a lot of like aesthetically pleasing anime, stuff that looks good, stuff that feels unique. So this anime is in good hands, right? And it's even stuff like CGI is done great. In the latest episode, especially, had
I was
CGI used there,
fire.
which
That was so
looked
good.
so realistic, like looked so good, right? The music, sound effects, the comedy, as you said, like the writing itself of the series is very good. It's an all around good package. Probably the best. I would just say the best anime of the season.
Oh,
ReZero could also
absolutely.
be up there, but it's like ReZero and Banana maybe going at each other. But yeah, so if you haven't watched it yet, if you like Chainsaw Man, if you like maybe like small romance moments between like characters, not like full on romance, the characters are not dense. Like they can definitely feel how the other one feels more or less. It seems pretty realistic, and it has some great fights and
Yeah.
emotional moments. But more on that, of course, later on.
They've shown some of the transformations or just things like that, I think, in the opening or just like even in the trailer. But there's some really cool things that they face against that you wouldn't like. This is very like out there. Like that's why I think like, we get the chainsaw stuff for Chainsaw Man, because they have a lot of crazy people they be fighting with too, with their powers that they have, and like what am I even looking at sometimes. So yeah, they have that over there too as well in Down to Done.
I mean, as I said, if you're interested, go watch it. But from this on, in our video, this is gonna have spoilers in there, so leave the video. Shoo, go away.
I think we're episode 1 and even 2 a little bit as well. I think those were like that's what kind of made me like, oh, this might be like Chainsaw Man, because it was so crazy in episode 1. There was so much going on, so many powers being developed, with Turbo Granny and then the aliens as well, and like. And it kind of was what you were saying too about how like they're not shying away from graphic stuff or just like showing that kind of side, because they had Momo up in there just getting, I don't know what they were about to do to her on some crazy shit with all them aliens. And then of course, well, you were mentioning before with Ken, that man's whole, he took his dick, took his dick from episode 1, from Turbo Granny, and he still doesn't have it, mind you. Well, he has it now, but without the balls. That's actually a crazy premise.
That's such a crazy start. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Like that's the premise of the show, is really getting this man's dick back. Like that's like everything they're doing up until this point is really to just get that man's entire dick back. So it's been interesting since episode 1. But like yeah, like you said, like because I feel like episode 1 and 2 can kind of be coupled together, and then I think was it 3 and 4 was like when they faced the sumo wrestler, I want to say. The sumo wrestler yokai, and then 4 and and then 5 and 6 was kind of like the introducing of Granny. We haven't talked about Granny yet, but Granny is mad cool, mad fine as well. You know what I'm saying? Definitely probably got to be like, well, I don't know that she's not gonna be best girl, but she got to be best something in Crunchyroll Award. They about to make that shit happen. I can't lie to you at all. What's her name? Psycho?
Yeah,
yes, sir.
We need some new Crunchyroll. All right, are you talking about Granny Psycho or Grand Turbo Granny, bro?
No, Granny Psycho. Please.
You meant Turbo Granny, by the way.
No, I did not.
Nah. No, but the character design is also fire. Just it's not. It's like of course the students without the transformations, nothing too crazy, but they're all very distinct. And even if you go on my anime list, just look at the characters that haven't even been shown. The enemies look all very unique. The main characters also have enough uniqueness to really know who is who. And just looking at their design, you also like quickly can kind of like start finding certain characteristics that you might assume from them. Characters look fitting, I guess, if that makes sense, which is not necessarily easy to do. Looking at other anime that make every character look the same, and then you wonder what the fuck are you supposed to be? Nah. But the show has pretty good pacing, pretty good structure. Some people are saying like, nah, this episode sucks because it only animated like maybe 2 chapters and shit. But I don't know. It feels well paced. Like it's not going slow. It doesn't feel slow, and it's not going too fast because shit is still being explained. You can get behind everything that's happening so far, and which you can't really say on like, let's say, One Piece. I mean, I love One Piece, but that pacing sucks. This one feels very good, fast paced, Chainsaw Man-esque.
Yeah, I don't think it's too crazy
as a whole.
It was kind of fast at the beginning,
Yeah.
but it's definitely slowed down since then. But it's still, like you said, like I think the one episode that maybe people thought was kind of slow is when they were like when it had like this. They're basically, I think they spent the entire episode in school and they were kind of having like that little miscommunication slash fight.
But that was good.
Yeah, I liked
was
it. Like
good.
it kind of fleshed out the characters a lot. Because let's say they skipped that and it went right into the next boss or whatever, next monster. Then
Mhm.
people be like, "Oh man, they're not even explaining the characters. Now we can't even be invested like that no more." So there's always gonna be people who are gonna be upset about something.
Yeah.
So I
To
like
leave
it.
that
I like
out, that it becomes JJK. Straight up.
it. Straight just fighting
Uh,
all the time, straight hands.
I mean, this is one of the things why people started disliking JJK, right? It's just that JJK is really mainly about fighting, and at the end of the day, you still don't learn a lot about the characters, like in between the fights at least. Then certain character dies, and I mean, some people are sad, but JJK had many deaths where you don't really care, honestly. Like you don't actually really care because the characters are not shown enough. Even the main character, I don't know. But I started hating. I started hating instantly on JJK. No, this is a Dandadan video.
Oh hell no. But no.
Nah, but Dandadan so far is pretty good. Episode 7, as I said in the beginning,
Yeah.
we gotta talk about that because episode 7 is like everyone is talking about it right now. It has during this, like at the time of this recording, it has like a 9.8 out of 10 on
Wow.
IMDb.
Wow.
It had a 9.6 at a time, but it went up to 9.8. People love this episode, and this is, I think, a trend from what I've seen. Like this show will go out of their way to show backstories for not just their main characters but also their antagonists.
Yeah.
And yeah, and the backstory wasn't even that long. It was like half the episode. Okay, it's not like 1 or 2 episodes. Some people were, dragging it. It's half an episode, barely any dialogue. So it's really just show don't tell, and it's really well made. Very close to the manga, and I would say it improved upon the manga with how the music and background was. They didn't show everything explicitly, but you had to figure out what happened really, at certain scenes. It's super good. Okay, I had a couple tears in my eyes. I won't lie. And I never actually cried anime, but I was watching that, and I came close. That shit was sad.
That's what I'm saying. Like I don't. That was like you said. What you said before with the CGI at the beginning when she was like running through the streets. That was really well. Like I thought, like you said, like you came into Discord. Like I thought that was like a real, like someone running through the streets, not like it was animated. That's crazy.
At first, I thought that too.
So
Yeah.
I like
It's
that
really
intro.
well done.
Even not even just in this episode, but like that's one thing I do want to touch on just a little bit is like the music throughout the entire season. Like even when it just kind of be chilling, they kind of have like a groove playing in the background, or even like the opening, of course, made by what was it? I think it's Creepy Nuts. I think they're called.
Yes.
Phenomenal.
Really
That might
bad.
be opening of the freaking year, if not one of the openings of the year.
Might just be top 3 at least.
Absolutely. Those, I mean, like the music is really good throughout. But yeah, specifically for episode 7, almost phenomenal. Like I like you said, only half the episode. It's not like it took too much time, but it still is it's still a basis that it is needed because it ties into the new side character we just met with Ira. It ties into her and who she's gonna
Definitely.
be, and her. And it kind of told both of their backstories actually in that one episode told for Acrobatic Silky
Yeah.
and for Ira. So we needed that. And I think that's how she's probably going to get her, I guess, quote unquote powers that we saw towards the end because they, tied both of their hearts together, with Momo tying them together, and she gave her, her essence to Ira. So that's kind of like what's going on with Ken a little bit too, with her Turbo Granny's essence being within him. So like that's a key part. So even if you didn't cry for or you didn't find it like, oh man, like, who really cares about this? It still plays a key part into like the overriding story because that's how she's probably going to join the team. She's gonna, get her whatever. I don't know. We don't know what her powers are gonna be. But
True.
yeah, it is very needed. And it was just very well done. And just like you said, very emotional as well. Like just seeing that backstory. I like this too. It was very less dialogue. Just kind of like just seeing the mom working and everything, and we're trying to get this money just for it to end up like that, where she's running through the streets, trying to get her daughter back. And we don't even see what happens to the daughter either, which is kind of like a sad little ending too. It's like maybe they touch on that in the future. I'm not too sure, but hopefully we can find that girl because she just got took by like freaking what was like the mob sharks, the mafia, some crazy shit.
I'm also interested to see how the other main characters, if they do get abilities, how they get the abilities. If it's like a trend that they all get the essence somehow, that would be kind of formulaic. I don't want this. I don't want all the other characters to also get their powers the same way. It might be interesting to see like different kinds of abilities because we haven't seen anything like alien related yet, right? Like it would be cool to have a character that has like alien alien related abilities, I suppose,
I
because
can
the
s-
aliens are all about tech from what I've seen. And
Yeah.
yokai are more like traditional magic users, if that makes sense.
Didn't Momo kind of
Yeah,
get
yeah.
that? I mean, like she did not alien powers, but her shit awakened when she was getting prodding by the aliens. So maybe we'll see that
True.
next. We'll see that next.
I mean, but as a whole, I only watched it in sub. I assume you too, right? You watched it
Yeah,
in Japanese, I
yeah.
suppose. Yeah. But I have to say, this anime is one of those where I like the dub more. I still watch the sub when I'm like early and the dub wasn't made yet. But I like the English voices.
Really?
Like
Okay.
they I don't know. It's pretty unique on how they deliver their lines. The dub itself like has its own comedic timing, even like its own comedic elements because they use words that are more trending right now, so it kind of makes it even funnier. And the way
Okay.
they deliver it is also pretty funny
I can
because
see
we
that.
we obviously know the voice actors are pretty good. Even for Ken, I think it's the voice actor, who is it, Tanjiro Deku.
He's Ken Kaneki. Yeah, he is Tanjiro as well. He's a lot of people.
Yeah. So I know I recognize this voice. He's very popular, and we all know he is fire, right?
Yeah.
With how he does it. But the English one, and I don't even think I recognize the English one from anywhere because I don't watch a lot of dub, right? But the way he delivers his lines, oh he has Takemichi in a dub. Oh
Yeah,
hell no.
Takemichi.
No. But the way they deliver their lines is so funny. You might, I don't know, if you ever have the time, check out like one episode, one of the funnier episodes in dub, right? I don't know if how good the dub is in the latest episode because I haven't watched it, but especially the comedic moments in English are also very good.
I
And
like
I
that. I
don't say
like
this a
that.
lot
Sounds
because I
cool.
usually say that dub sucks.
I mean, I think for these,
So
as we move on, they've been taking a lot more. Also, especially since like a lot of these anime are being owned, not owned, but like they can put on like Netflix and things like that. They kind of have to make the dub really good
oh,
to
it is on
match it.
Netflix. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that's might be another because they want to make it more accessible, probably to the West, even more accessible to the West. So they're probably making sure
Hmm.
that that dub sounds nice for a lot of these newer anime, especially when it has like a very high ceiling for it. It can be good, like Dandadan. Because
Agreed.
if this keeps going and gets more seasons, it can definitely be akin to like a Chainsaw Man or a JJK when it comes to its success. So
Yes,
yeah,
for
they
sure.
have, for sure have to put their all into it even when it comes to the voice acting. They can't just have like this. I won't say nobodies, but they can't just have like random people doing it who are just not putting their all into it. So it makes sense why it sounds good. I'm glad it sounds good too for a
Yeah.
dub. I'll probably have to check one of
Yeah.
them out for sure.
They had to bring their A game with this. Yeah, I think it actually has like two English dubs, I believe, because Crunchyroll also has it.
Hmm.
So I feel like there's like two different versions, I think.
Really?
But I don't know if one of them is like objectively better or just has better quality. Maybe they're more or less equal, just with different people. I didn't even know. I remember there being like two dubs, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm just yapping right now. And I mean, before we end it off, because I think for the positive side or for the general side, we said, or at least I said what I wanted to say. But in terms of criticism, I think the only thing that would need to be mentioned is the thing that Dandadan is most criticized for, and that is those, as I said, those how do I say, those weird scenes, I guess, right? Because Dandadan has them, and we have seen it in the anime, like one at least, with
Yeah.
Momo and the aliens. And I know that certain stories have to portray certain elements. We have seen it with Mushoku Tensei, right?
Yeah, I was
People
gonna say that.
hate the
Yeah.
MC, but at the end of the day, the point is that the MC has to be that way. Like, that's the story. And obviously, if you don't like that, the show won't be for you. But it's the point that he changes. But that's subjective here and there. This show definitely has these moments, and from what I've seen from the manga and stuff that happens later on,
Hmm.
no spoilers, because I also don't know the context. There are scenes where characters are in weird scenes once again. Let's just say it like this, okay? maybe like naked, maybe he's doing some other shit. I don't fucking know, right?
Okay.
I don't know how the anime is gonna portray this. I just wanted to point it out, right? I don't know if you heard anything about that, because this series definitely, like Chainsaw Man, because Chainsaw Man also did get the same criticism. It has these.
Yeah.
I'll just keep the adjective weird. I don't know
Yeah.
any other word right now that fits the description as best as weird. It has these weird scenes that I don't know if they need to be there. We'll have to see and wait, right, for the right episode and see how these characters get in these peculiar situations.
Yeah.
But for the first episode, the whole alien abduction scene, it is, I don't know, kind of iffy, but it makes sense, I guess.
I mean, I feel like
I get why some people might be appalled. I can get it.
I get both sides. I mean, like that even that took me back to when I was watching, because like I said, that was the first episode, so kind of that's like our first impressions of it. I was like, when we got to that point, I was like, damn, they're just doing a lot right now. I think like her being tied up, or not tied up, but her being like in the little chair was like one thing. But like when they started having the alien like pull out like freaking like the robotic drill from his pants, I was like, okay, yeah, they could have cut this out. They didn't have to keep that part in for sure. Or when there's like slowly panning over her when she was like her parts as they're going up her body sometimes when she was inside that chair. Like some of those things can for sure be cut out. She could be in there like, you know, whatever inside the chair with the, you know, with the things around her hands keeping her there. Like I can understand that, you know, it's aliens. We understand. But some of like the camera movement, some of like the innuendos, they can go. They for sure can go.
Yeah, definitely.
So we'll see how they do in the future for sure. I haven't been keeping up with Chainsaw Man this recent part. I do remember in the first part there was some things for sure. Of course, Mushoku Tensei will always be brought into this conversation because the premise, the plot of Mushoku Tensei is just crazy in itself. It's very weird, but you know, it's like you said, it's done for like that for a reason. So you know, and also at the end of the day, bro, if you don't like something, just don't watch it. I mean, I understand like to voice your opinion. Everyone's free to voice their opinion, obviously.
Yes.
But some people will keep watching the show or keep watching whatever and then keep complaining. Like it's not gonna change. If you're on season 3 of Mushoku Tensei, you're still like, man, why is Rudy acting like this? I don't know what to tell you, bro. It's what the show is about. So if you're not messing with recently they haven't really been doing nothing weird for Don. It's only been at episode 1. Since then, it's been
it really was only episode 1.
Yeah.
Dandadan doesn't go to these types of extremes all the time. It's just like specific moments, right? Like singular moments which stand out. Not like Mushoku Tensei that had weird moments happening back to back. But I mean, I'm digressing here, right? And as you said, if you're watching this and you still hate it, stop watching. Otherwise, it's similar to those people that watch One Piece and are like, I'm on episode 400 something, and it's still ass. When does this get, bro? How do you watch 400 episodes and still hate? Like, just stop watching, bro.
Yeah.
Stop watching.
Yeah.
And it's not just anime, books, movies, TV shows, games, whatever they have. All of them have, like, all these mediums, all genres have weird moments. Either you can, I don't know, give it a pass or not.
Yeah.
But in this case, as you said, you get it. It's aliens. We get the criticism, right? It's like story-wise, it makes sense, but the way it's directed doesn't need to be like that. Okay,
it could change.
Technically, it doesn't. You can definitely shows like this is why like movies have like, for example, like weird like a death can be super brutal, right? But they don't show it explicitly, right? Like they might show like only the sound or a shadow or just like I don't know, do it differently. Okay, there's different ways.
Yeah.
But the way this scene was shot. I agree. It could have been done better. More respectful, I guess, to the characters and the viewers, right?
Yeah.
So they don't have to watch it like that. Especially for people who had, of course not with aliens, but let's just say similar stuff happened to them. And usually you don't go into a show expecting that. And then it's, right in your face, difficult topic. I don't know. And in that regard, that's like the only real criticism I could say. Because apart from that, I like the character's story, animation, like just visuals, music. As you said, music is phenomenal too.
Yeah, it's really, really good.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes, right? It has like 5 more episodes. Yes, still, it only has 12. Sadly, this anime seems like it should have more, but we will definitely get a season 2. Like its fan base is huge. The manga is huge in Japan. It's a big hit, right? So we'll see how it goes. Definitely a recommendation from us. If you watched until this point and you still haven't watched it, just fucking watch it. I don't care. As always, we say it all the time. whatever. There's no comment down below if you see if you watch this video. If you agree, tell us what if you don't agree. You know, I think Mushoku, I think like Dungeon Meshi had some good comments, right? Some people, a lot of people found it, and yeah, they had some good discussions. I remember. Maybe Dandadan has this happened too. YouTube algorithm, help us out. Fuck. Nah. Any last words, Jez? Anything to add?
Nah, yeah, just for sure go watch it if you haven't watched it before. Definitely best anime of this season. Of course, arguable, but definitely best anime of this season.
Definitely.
And yeah, feel free to comment any things you want to just kind of point out that we missed in terms of anything. Maybe what's your take on like the controversial first episode? Do you think it's really that big of a deal, or if it's really not? Just just drop it down below.
I'd be interested too.
Sir. Yeah, that's it for me.
Yeah, this has been Open Window, Pan and Jez. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. As always,